his eject time must have been really good.
It looks like he's just saving that larva for any gas-heavy unit that he can go for. He has his third base is finally finished, and look at this timing by Elfie. Looks like he has a nice number of Colossi, and he's moving out to attack, or he might be. If he starts moving out to attack, I'd love that timing, because Demaga has only just gotten that other expansion up and running, and Demaga looks like he's also trying to get some sort of +1 carapace upgrade and all that sort of good business. But I mean, either way, Elfie is looking very, very commanding at this position.
Blink is nearly done for Elfie as well as the armor upgrade. So he's on 1-1 within the next couple of seconds and has 5 Colossi so far. Another one who joins army shortly, so he has 6 Colossi. And that's quite a lot. On the other side we have 10 Corruptors, but there are tons of Stalkers as well. They got 35 Stalkers at the moment, so I don't think there's any chance they can kill all those Colossi with this Corruptor. And we see a Templar Archive being thrown down as well for the Protoss player, so Storm incoming as well. And I just don't see Demaga winning that game, even though he's maxed at the moment.
Demaga has 17 roaches being produced right now, trying to get those Corruptors into a good position, trying to reposition all his roaches.
And that's the worst position for him to fight. I mean, if Elfie just uses those, force fields right now, he can basically block half the army off.
But it looks like Elfie kind of botching that and losing a lot of the Colossi very quickly, and another little bit of lag there. Demaga is the culprit this time, but it looks like Demaga's doing a great job of cleaning off all of those Colossi, and it looks like that last final one will end up falling, and by a miracle, Demaga somehow has, like, more units.
I just feel like Elfie totally blew this fight. I mean, he threw down a couple of force fields in order to split the army of the Zerg player, but it was way... well, it took him ages to throw down those force fields, and they weren't good as well. So Demaga was able to sneak past the force fields and is just now attacking the gold expansion of Elfie. And although Elfie is using quite a nice amount of micro in order to save his Storkers, he seems to be losing that fight. And in the meantime, of course, the more Hydralisks are being produced as well as Roaches, and Demaga is once again ahead with roughly 30 supply.
How on earth did Demaga do this huge return around? It looks like more Blink Stalkers from Elfie trying to poke in there, but Demaga had just an amazing surge of roaches right when he picked off those Colossi. And again, we're going to see a long period of forced passivity from Elfie if he tries to get more Colossi, but it doesn't look like he's doing that. Looks like he wants to be favoring that Psystorm so he can continue to try to be aggressive.
I'm really a little bit disappointed by the unit control of Elfie in the last fight. I mean, he didn't have that many sentries, but he had 4 sentries and he barely never used them. He could have just force fielded that ramp over here. I mean, half of the roaches were trapped on the other side of the ramp, so he could have just taken out half the army of Demaga without ever fighting.
You know, it's kind of funny. There's a lot of players who are capable of just winning typical games, or, you know, more frequently, players who are really good at making amazing comebacks. But there's a surprisingly large segment of players who get a huge lead and then have no idea what to do and blow that lead all the time. And I really think that, you know, Elfie suffered a little bit from that, where he clearly had a very big lead and attacked in somewhat of an awkward angle, thinking, yeah, this probably isn't optimal, but let me just wrap this sucker up real fast. And instead what happened is Demaga just completely exploited it.
And there we go again, only 1 Colossi left, and immediately Demaga moving in, killing those Colossi with his Corruptors. Oh! And the Storms are actually pretty good, just hitting all those Hydras, and well, 50 supply still. Demaga is ahead with 50 supply, and his economy is up as well, so he can basically kill everything, but he shouldn't fight within the range of all those cannons.
But it looks like he has roaches streaming in from all angles. Demaga actually might even just try to go for it at this point in time. There are so many roaches everywhere. More Templar getting morphed in. Going to be some more nice storms, but we are seeing Demaga pull out of the way to dodge those. And gosh, Elfie might barely be able to hold this off. It is not looking like it. By the second, more and more units are popping out, and Demaga may have pulled one of those amazing comebacks if he can maybe pull this game off.
Thing is that the economy of Elfie is still a lot better, and he's just going for another expansion in the back. So right now, I don't think that Elfie should commit to all those fights. He should retreat into the range of the cannons once again. Oh well, all the cannons are gone in the meantime.
Looks like Demaga trying to use the strength of these roaches in small numbers to really put pressure back on Elfie, but Elfie just has so many gateways, using blanks, so many just critical upgrades that it's just very, very, very rough spot.
And Demaga is once again ahead with a roughly 40 supply right now. So, yeah, well, he's still on 57 harvest versus 63, and the income of Elfie is still better. So if Dimaga is not actually able to hurt the economy of Elfie, he might be in a lot of trouble as soon as the other expansion of Elfie is up, and which is right now. So he lost the mineral patches in his main base are actually gone. The mineral patches in natural are gone as well. So the only economy he has is at his third base, and Elfie is attacking exactly that base.
Oh, it looks like Elfie misclicked on that blink micro a little bit and may have trapped this other set of units. None of these stalkers quite have an available blink, and there they end up trying to blink out of the way. They will be running up onto this high ground, but there are so many units from Dimaga that he will be able to catch it off guard.
But the thing is that Dimaga is losing time. The whole time he's chasing all those stalkers, he's losing time, and Elfie has quite a decent income right now. Dimaga's income dropped to 400, and the income of Elfie is 1,400, so he's able to warp in more units as we speak. He has enough energy on his next side so he can chrono boost his warp gates basically constantly.
There's also an Immortal
Which he's doing.
Yeah, there's also that Immortal coming out for Elfie. Very, very good late game unit. The Immortals are such an essential piece of that big Protoss army, and there's so many things. I mean, if he did not unlock that macro achievement, yes, he did it right then. We do see a Roach from Dimaga. Uh-oh, spotting the fourth base of Elfie, going to be doing a little bit of damage, and I think Dimaga's starting to realize that unless he makes a big play fast, he's going to be falling out of this game ASAP.
Yeah, at the moment Dimaga is just massing roaches. He has 44 roaches on the field right now against 13 Stalkers, 18 Zealots, and those High Templar. One Immortal, and now once again Elfie is relying on Colossi, just warping in more Stalkers as we speak, tackling more to 1-1. The others, so we see one armor getting 2 attack upgrades for Dimaga. Dimaga attacking once again, but immediately retreating a little bit, 183 supply, and now storms are coming once again to save the day.
And Elfie just continuing to morph in a whole bunch of stalkers. It looks like there's an observer from Elfie getting a good glimpse of what's going on in Dimaga land, and it looks like it's nothing but roaches. Here he is coming back for a second round. There's some more really nice storms, but Dimaga is just going to take some damage, pull back, burrow, heal. There's the blink forward. Looks like Dimaga's still taking a lot of damage, just going to burrow and retreat and rely on that healing. Doesn't look like there's that detector right on top of him yet, and there, look, coming back again, and yet more storms. But I think that Dimaga might be able to break this if he presses it hard enough.
He has a 60 supply, 50 supply advantage right now, but there's the observer, and now there's no time for Dimaga to borrow his units. But he doesn't have to, as he has just way more units than his opponent, and is once again attacking Elfie, trying to pressure the goal base of the Protoss player, and always retreating a little bit, just borrowing his roaches in order to heal them. And Elfie's just using nice micro, but he can't stand the attack. It's just too much pressure from Dimaga.
Unbelievable! I cannot believe Dimaga won that game.
Neither can I.
That is insane, and I just think Elfie's going to be kicking himself about that first big attack that he made where he just darted a little too eagerly into that line of roaches.
And when he killed the expansion, the third base of Dimaga, I thought this game was over. I mean, his goal expansion was up, his income skyrocketed. He was ahead with about 20 or 30 supply, had the better income and everything. Dimaga only on 2 bases, and still he won. And I'm really surprised that Elfie blew that attack.
Yeah, I also want to take a moment to be just impressed with how good of a player Dimaga is, that he was able to actually hold on and do that much damage and get that many units all of a sudden. I will admit, I do think that I have to step out and do a little bedtime, because there were some sentences I was in the middle of in that last game where I started to realize I didn't know what the first half of my sentence was.
Okay, no worries now.
But I wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on, Dr. Khaldor, and of course I'll be back with you tomorrow, I believe.
Exactly. Tomorrow we're going to cast the 4 players close combat cup, starting at... I always mix that up. I think it's 7 o'clock.
Something like that. 1900 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last time I really thought that it would be 6 p.m. and I went to the gym and just was like, oh my god, I have to hurry. Came back to the office and was sitting here about 1 minute to 6 o'clock. Started the stream and suddenly somebody was, what the hell are you already on air? The tournament doesn't start until 7 o'clock. I was sitting like, what the fuck? I was so angry with myself.
Whatever. It's fine. You got to go to the gym. You got to be healthy a little bit. I need to do that at some point here. Not today. It's bedtime for day 9. Either way, thank you so much. I'm going to be signing out. Look forward for more live streams and, of course, some more VOD content recorded. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Going to do little VODs with Zoe tomorrow when I'm actually rested, when I get up at 3 in the morning.
You have to log in there so I can upload the file.
I'll do it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Well,
sounds
I'm
even
going
better.
to be pulling this off. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay, in the meantime, the next map is going to start, and we'll see day 9 tomorrow once again. So have a good night's sleep.
Will do.
And hope you will recover from your jet lag.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. Peace, peace.
See ya. Okay, yep. So guys, now you have to make do with me. I'm sorry that we had to cut this short, but he's really, really tired. He's basically running on energy drinks the whole day. Didn't drink anything else except for coffee. And right now we have another game. Dimaga once again facing Alfie. It's the second game in the best of 3 series. After that we will also see Naniva versus Mana. And day 9 will be back tomorrow. And we will also cast in English so that all the international viewers will be able to follow the stream. We will start at 7 p.m. CET. So if you want to tune in, make sure that you get a couple of beers, chips, or whatever you guys need. And right now, well, basically, I will cast the last couple of games alone. We have Alfie starting on Metalopolis, the second map, on the 6 o'clock start position, whereas the Zerg player is starting on this left-hand side, so on the close air positioning, and immediately scouting with his Overlord. And I will just make sure that all that stuff is turned off. Okay, great. Tomorrow as well, if you have any questions for day 9, you can also post those in the comments, and I will just make sure that I will read through the comments, just browse through them after the cast and before we start the cast tomorrow, and I'll just pick the best questions and then direct them to day 9. So if you have any questions for him, just let us know. Either you can use the news on my StarCraft.de or of course the thread for the stream on Team Liquid. Either one. Doesn't matter, and I will read the comments tomorrow when I'm once again able to play the sidekick for day 9. Hope I didn't annoy you too much. Alfie in the meantime is just chrono boosting his Nexus once again and getting his gateway as well as a couple of more drones. And Dimaga once again relying on his extractor as a first building, so we will see this pool in just a couple of seconds, and he will have enough gas as soon as the pool finished in order to get his metabolic boost and build his expansion around 22 to 23 supply. And both players scouted where the opponent is actually starting, so we see Dimaga with an Overlord hovering above the Nexus of Alfie, and I just simply have to change that right now. Here we go, back with that. Yeah. No, that's not really smooth. Well, anyways, I have to do that later on. Yeah, it's just a little bit too fast. I have the feeling that I can't really move the screen smoothly enough. So, well, sorry if it's a little bit too fast. I'm not quite sure how it looks on the stream. Pool finishing on for Dimaga, and the last game was really impressive. I think though that despite the fact that Dimaga played really well and his unit control was nice, I think that Alfie just blew this one fight, and he could have used force fields much more effectively. He had 4 sentries with enough energy for a lot of force field, just used 3 and wasn't even able to block the bottleneck during the fight. So I think that was a little bit disappointing. Alfie with a huge lead after he killed the 3rd base of Dimaga and wasn't really able to finish the game, to win the game. We see the Zealot just blocking the choke, and Alfie of course going for his warp gate upgrade. We see the hatchery being built for Dimaga, as Sean already mentioned. This build is so safe because with the hatch first you can be attacked by cannons, you can be attacked by all kinds of early game pressure. But just an extractor and a pool, and basically there's no way that you can attack that early on. And once again Dimaga has pulled out all his drones from the extractor and sent them to the mineral patches in order to get a couple of more minerals during the early game. which enables him to build his queen, his second queen, really fast, going for drones once more. And in the meantime, we see Elfie with another gateway in the back of his base. Just use that pylon behind the smoke screen in order to scout a little bit. Has his 2 assimilators up and is going for 3 more gates. So, well, basically, if Dimaga scouts that, it will look to him as if Elfie is going for another 3